Greatness Quest. I'm Trevor Crane, and every week I'm bringing you somebody absolutely extraordinary to help take your life and your business to the next level. This week is Jess Toddfelt.
Hey!
Hey!
We have so much in store for everybody today, and we just had so much fun before we started recording. You have no idea, but we have lots of technology and things to help all of you to become a big media star.
We got camera. Okay, so today is all about you becoming a media star. Now, I'm not pointing at Jess right now. I'm pointing at you becoming a media star. And I have actually interviewed Jess before. So if you hadn't seen one of my shows where I interviewed him, make sure you go check that out. He was teasing that I got almost kicked out of a Vegas casino for videotaping in a casino, which I guess you're not supposed to do, whatever. But we want to talk about you becoming a media star, and I wanted Jess back because I'm confused between the difference between press and media, and I'm a little bit confused because I can spend money on my press releases and getting those out there. I know I'm in the attention business, or should be, and we are in the attention business. So, but what I mean, I would love, it felt like if I got interviewed by Oprah, you know, that I would just blow up. If I got interviewed on the Today Show, I would blow up. So I want media. I want to make sure that I become this media star where people are reaching out to me going like, oh my God, I want to work with this guy. And I want that for everybody watching right now. So I brought you Jess to teach you how, because this guy has worked for ABC, NBC, Fox, ESPN, Jesus. I don't know. Where else did... Yeah, you worked for Jesus. You just called him.
I did. I've been doing this for like 2,000 or so years.
Good press. Good press with Jesus, by the way. You did a really good job setting him up. I mean, very popular.
It's still going on. It's a story that just keeps, people love it.
Telling itself, yeah. So Jess, what does somebody have to do to become a media star? How can anybody turn their business into something that gets the media's attention? What do you recommend, and how do they do it? How do I do it?
Well, it's actually two questions, because you said a media star, and then you said get the media's attention. So I have a whole completely different view on media. By the way, after leaving TV, I was a producer, and I worked at a whole bunch of places, and I've done a whole bunch of on-air stuff as well. When I left and started my business as a consultant, as a media trainer and communication consultant for corporations, I realized I have to start doing press. And I wrote a bunch of books, and hey, I need to be out there. So I say it's two questions. There's traditional media, and then there is all this internet-related media, and there's so much of it. And we're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. Somebody may be watching this, Trevor, that we record today, 5 years from now, who becomes your best client ever. Because they're like, oh, I just watched that thing that you did the other day. And you're like, what thing? Jess, who is that guy? And you know that guy. And then they say, that's fantastic, I love it. Which, by the way, I've had that happen. I had a guy who saw me in a YouTube video, and he came in from overseas, and not only did he work with me for multiple days, but now he's a referral partner. So there's two things. There's traditional media, and there's internet media. So we can start with traditional media.
Well, let me ask, we had set this up because I know you've got some traditional, some internet media that we can start recording right now. Do you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about Periscope and bringing that in? Because I want to make sure you don't forget we got it all set up.
Well, that's very good. We made today so complicated. It's like, hey, Jess, let's do an interview. And both of us said, what if we had multiple cameras? What if we restreamed? And so I'm going to move this in here. That's my phone. It's on a tripod. I mean, you see what that took away some of the magic.
Oh man, it looks so good. You just blew it for me though. Now that I know it's on a tripod, I just thought it was hovering there in space.
Hovering. It's just plain hovering on there. Oh,
and now it just hovered off.
Well, actually, that was better. I have to. So here's what we're doing.
Okay.
There are so many different platforms. You and I are doing this interview via Skype, and it's being recorded. I actually just did an interview earlier today with somebody via Zoom, and it was recorded. And then you package it nicely, and you put it in various platforms. You now own your own media platform. Fantastic. And of course, it doesn't just end there. You have to promote it through social media and your email channels and whatever channels that you have for people to find it. And that in itself can be a full-time job, although the use of VAs and people who you use off of Elance, they call it something different now, or Fiverr or whatever, to go and start pulling this apart and repurposing and promoting. I need to even do a better job of that because there are so many layers. But I will show you a number of things today, which is the lazy man's or person's approach to just doing it and getting it done and getting out there. And yes, you'll be able to generate some press. So one of the new platforms is Periscope. It's owned by Twitter. I'm going to open it up and sign in here. And it's a live streaming platform. So if you're watching this through Trevor's show right now, it already happened, sorry. But actually all of my Periscopes are on ReplayScope. I own that domain, .com, ReplayScope. And then people can see the replay of this and what other type of stuff that's usually of value. So let's see here. I'm just gonna. So you can ask me something while I punch in Periscope, and we'll talk more about what that is.
All right. So the point is, so you're going to share with us some things today that are going to be how everybody can become their own. We talked about media star as well. Like, what do we have to do to position ourselves as someone the media will want to connect with and communicate with? Right now, you're signing up. You're signing in on Periscope to go ahead and capture today's interview, part of today's interview live. This is another thing that everybody can do. You're doing it right there on your phone. So we're actually going to take a quick break, Jess, while you finish setting that up, and you can. And there, everyone should be a media star. That looks good. And also, we're going to give everybody a list. We've got a free gift. We'll see you in a second. Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching Greatness Quest. I'm here with Jess Toddfeld. We are doing a Periscope to go ahead and capture, as in many ways we can, all the video awesomeness of how you can become a media star. And Jess, tell me what's going on with Periscope here. And you said you're going to share it on, you're going to sign it up with Facebook, or what's going on?
Yes. So I'm what people should do. So Periscope is owned by Twitter. And when you start scoping, what happens is it puts a link out and says, hey, you're going live. And the more you do it, the more chances that people can follow you. See, it didn't give a special link here, so maybe I'll go back to that, which is a little bit strange. But usually what it does is it puts a link here letting people know, hey, this is live, so people can show up from all around. But the big secret is, we're sharing secrets today, is for you to give value, give lots and lots of value. So when you do that, people will respond to it. So we're going to do that today.
Now, this is the secret in a Periscope of the making sure that you give value, or is it all? I mean, are you also talking, because I know that you coach executives and you coach entrepreneurs on how they can improve their media interviews and make sure they make the most of them. So is it still a value add in that context as well? Or because you're saying you're giving away secrets, and what is adding value when you're doing it on Periscope, and what is it when you're doing it on a media interview?
So it's giving away your intellectual property. It's helping people. So I'm going to rattle off a bunch of things because I don't like too much time to go on where people are not getting something super, super solid. So in the first segment, you brought up the Today Show, and you said, gee, I think in my head, if I could just get there, I would explode and be everywhere. Well, almost. You have to be able to speak to close, and that's a branding that I came up with, and it really finds its way through everything I do. But a lot of people think that media training, media trainers, I'm a media trainer, it's all about telling people how to sit up straight and comb your hair and do all that stuff, and it's about you creating more of what you want. So if you do the Today Show and you're going on, you're talking about, let's pretend we booked Trevor and we're talking about how do you run become a kick butt and cleaning it up entrepreneur. So Trevor has to give us 5 to 7 awesome strategies that we can do right now where I say, I want more of him, and then he has to follow it with a free item and say, by the way, I just want to give away something for free, and it'll be my kick butt toolkit. And then people say, how can I get that? And then they're going somewhere and they're opting in, and you have to get them to opt in, give an email address, and then there are steps. That's how you convert interviews. And here's an eye-opener about traditional media and about say, the Today Show. Maybe 6 million people of 300 plus million people in the United States, I think we might be at a 330 million now, are actually tuned in.
How many?
And about 6 million.
Okay, so 6 million out of...
So we have, out of, say, 300 plus, I think it's 330, but let's say 300 plus million,
yeah,
we go down to 6 million. And then of 6 million, only certain people even care about being, say, an entrepreneur, if this is that topic. Another percentage of people are getting ready for work and they're in the shower right now. Another percentage of people are giving their kids lunch and sending them off on the school bus, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So the best way, I mean, that used to be the only game in town for getting it in front of people and ideally making something happen. But the best way is to always give a free item or give free stuff, drive people into your funnel or your system, into your universe, and get them where you're now hitting them from all different angles. You're hitting them for, they get an email one day, they see a broadcast another day, they see on a Periscope on another day. And I think I bumped something wrong here, because I'll mess around with that in a second, because we're not getting all the people commenting on there, which is a whole other thing. And each format is different. You want to interact with those people. Obviously, the Today Show, you want to give great value, and you want to, which was your other question, how do you do it differently? And then the free item. So something like Periscope, where we're talking to people who are tuning in and they're giving little comments and asking questions, we want to reward them for them asking questions, and we want it to be a dialogue. If it's not a dialogue, then it's just a one-way. You might as well do a YouTube video.
Okay, so I want to rephrase what you just said, because I've said this for a long time, and I've been helping people with books lately, entrepreneurs or business owners that don't have a book, to get their book out there. And if they do have a book, then to make it a #1 bestseller and use that in their marketing. But in the content of creating that book, or in the content that you're talking about to give away on media, I always will advise people to give their best stuff away for free. That they should take their best stuff and put it right up and out front, so that they can go ahead and make a difference with that information, get someone's attention, create that desire, so that if you can help them right away, then they do want more. And so what's interesting is you and I haven't talked about how people would go on traditional media, and I've had some media training before of like, hey, what you should say if you get interviewed on the Today Show or whatnot, and that you should give 2 or 3 pieces of really valuable content. But what you just said, I think, is really cool. I've always wanted my clients, and when I've advised them when they go to speak on media, to give away that free gift, so that people can send someone to a website. Like, go to my website, and www.mywebsiteisawesome.com, to get my kick butt toolkit, like you just said, so that they get that lead generation, and then they have the opportunity to communicate with them moving forward. And it's funny how my clients in the past were fighting that. They're like, oh, I don't want that to seem sleazy, and what are they going to think? And the media won't like that. So, I mean, I want to get another one of my questions here, Jess, and we don't have a lot of time before I have to go on another break, to comment about that, but I also want to find out how to get on the media. We're talking about what you say once you get there, which is we want to give away our best stuff first and make sure we can get a lead magnet to get them pull in. We're going to say,
I want to make sure that each segment has either free stuff or lots of value. So I'm going to give something away for free, and I'm not even going to ask for people's email addresses.
No, don't do it.
Okay, I changed my mind. No, I'll tell you. MediaTrainingToolkit.com, and you get all sorts of free stuff to help you do a better job in various types of media interviews, videos, some other stuff. You don't have to opt into anything unless you want even more.
and we're going to take a quick break. All right, guys, you are watching Greatness Quest. I'm here with Jess Toddfield. I'm having way too much fun off camera. Jess, just do me a quick favor. Take a drink of coffee while we just get started here. Nice plug. Buy my stuff. You said you had joked about doing that. I didn't. Where did you find the time to put that on the bottom of your coffee cup?
Well, you took a break, so I said I should really do that. I was joking because there's whatever the name of the brand of this cup on there. So isn't this better?
It's much better. The eyes are good because I can see the whites of your eyes around the sticker there. That matches. All right. So we were just talking, Jess, about a toolkit. You said go to mediatrainingtoolkit.com, right?
Free stuff there to do a better job in interviews, look, sound, and feel better.
Okay, so that will be a huge value add. And this is the first part of, like, give your best stuff away for free. So we're trying to give as much as we can on today's interview with content, but then there's a lead magnet, and it's not necessarily a lead magnet, but if they want more Jess, they can find more Jess there. Anybody watching on Periscope, go check me out, because I know you're recording there still on Periscope. Check me out at greatnessquest.com, and you'll see the other great interviews that we've done. And I also want to talk about the media toolkit that you're going to give away. And you talked about the lazy man's way of, or lazy person's way of getting media's attention. Because I love it that you're giving us a toolkit of what to say and how to do it. And it was a great breakdown of give your best stuff away, and then make sure you give something away for free where you have a chance to get their email, and then you can communicate with someone in the future. And before we move on to the toolkit of how the lazy person's way to get on media, is it appropriate to, when I'm interviewed on the Today Show or someone is interviewed on the radio, is it appropriate to give something away for free and send them to your website or say opt in here? And how does that work? Because when the people that are freaky deaky, I don't want to be too salesy, is it appropriate?
Well, you're not being salesy if you're giving something away for free. Who doesn't like free stuff? In fact, if you say to the interviewer, so say instead of the Today Show, somebody says, you know what, I live in Houston, and I would love to be on the local ABC affiliate. I watch that in the morning, and you reach out, and by the way, on all of your local levels, there's less competition for people pitching themselves, so they may say, yeah, we'd love it, come on down. So you go down, and in your interview, you say, by the way, I have a free, let's say it's a free video, or let's say it's a free, I hate calling it a white paper, a top 10 list.
Yeah.
I have a free top 10 list on kick butt careers, be a kick butt
business. Yeah, got it.
And then, oh, really? So what does the interviewer then say? How can we get a hold of that? They've walked right into it. Well, you just go to my website, which is, and then it's, Trevor Crane is the kick butt guy, and it's something 10,000 characters. No,
okay,
not
brilliant.
That. But you get to say it.
So you skipped a step that we're going to talk about next, and you said, because you just freaked me out, you freaked people out potentially. You're like, oh, you just call up the local media station and there's less competition there, and they're going to say, oh yeah, I'd love to have you on. And I'm thinking, what the hell do you say on that? Like, who do you call? What do you say? How do you get them to say, I would love to have you come? And then you're like, and so then you go there, and when you're talking, I'm like, what do I say? So that's why you go get the toolkit that Jess and I are going to give you right now, so you can figure out what to say. But have prepared, I've got this free book that I could give away. Well, how would somebody get that? I've got this free 10-step kick butt class on making you awesome. How? So the interviewer walks into it then if you just know that you're going to say, I got this free gift to give away.
Right. So, well, you questioned it exactly.
Yes.
But you're saying you were getting stuck in the whole, I yada-yada'd over all the stuff up to the interview is what you're saying.
Well,
now you're in the interview.
Yeah, because there's a lot. I want to get to the interview. Like, that's a quality problem to have. It's like, oh no, I'm about to be interviewed, and now I know. Okay, great. I'll give something away for free. Great tip. Thank you. How do I get to the freaking interview? Because I'm ready. Look at this. I'm wearing.
He is. Look at him. He's totally.
I'm wearing jeans, so I'm not probably totally ready, and I'm not wearing shoes. So if I went into, I might. What?
That's what it's like when you get to run your own business, people.
Right.
If you don't feel like wearing shoes, You don't have to wear shoes when you do an interview like this. If you go to a traditional media, wear shoes is my media training strategy for today.
It's one of them. Well, you know
what?
We'll co-author a book about the barefoot billionaires, something like that.
Done.
We're half there. Right there.
Hold on, I'm getting the domain.
All right.
Done.
So how does somebody get the media attention and become that media star so that when I pick up that phone or they call me, because I don't like cold calling. So what's that? This is the gap, brother. Because that's great. Yeah, now I know what to do and say, and I wear shoes to the interview. I got it.
I don't like cold calling. Yeah, wear shoes. I don't like cold calling either. This is the lazy man's approach. This is a whole... I put together a whole program explaining this, but I'm going to give as much as I can right now, which is step 1. You need to have a list, and it can't be a list of 15 people. It needs to be a nice, big, robust list. Of media contacts. This is an email list, by the way, what I'm talking about. So you have an email list, and you have it loaded up and ready to go. You can load it up in Outlook. You can use Gmail or one of the others. I prefer using one of these programs. Actually, one I like for this one is called Your Mailing List Provider. And in my kit, I explain how I even set mine up. But the whole point is you take this list, you put it in whatever email you use, and it's there and it's ready to go. And when I say ready to go is you can, through any of these services, you can send a mass email. Mm-hmm. Now, people who are in public relations call that spray and pray. And we don't want to, the praying is okay, but we shouldn't have to only depend on praying. What we want to do is I'm okay with spraying, but we want it to look like an individual one-to-one email. So we want to use this is why I use one of those services. So it says, "Hi, Trevor." Instead of just junk mail. We've all been on the receiving end of that, right? It doesn't say, "Hi, Jess." It just says, "Guess what? Do you run a business?" Blah, 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 blah. And it's, long lists of text, and it goes on and on. You can't read it, and it's boring. So step 1, email list. Input it. It's ready to go. Step 2, you write up one email. You write up one email. This is why it's the lazy person's approach. Now, by the way, I am not a publicist. People ask me all the time, can you do this for other people? Because I set a Guinness record, 112 interviews, all of that, in a 24-hour span. But I don't do that. But I came up with a kit that explains it. So you have the emails ready to go. You have the email addresses plugged in, ready to go. You write up your email. Subject line. So I'm going to do a quick rattle off here because we want to give lots and lots of value. Mm-hmm. Subject line, most important. We want it to read like a newspaper headline and be so compelling that the person says, "Yes, I love that story." Not everybody will love everything that you do in life as well as this one email. So I covered life as well as this email just now. But if you send it to 2,000 people, and what I did this not too long ago with just my print list. So I have print, I have radio, I have TV, and I sent it out to, I think it was about 2,000 print locations, and I ended up in 50 newspapers. Is that a good day? That's a great day, right? It was actually over the span of a week, so it was a good week. Mm-hmm. And I've also done it where I sent it to one of my smallest lists that was about 250. This was just recently. I just did it, and my lists are national, but this was just my New York list. And only one outlet said, "Yes, we want to interview you, Jess." Oh, well, it was the New York Times. So if you Google my name, Jess Todd Feld, in New York Times, you'll see the story about becoming a media star. And so subject line, super important. And then inside it must say, "Hi, first name." And there's usually a code that when you input these lists, it will auto-generate. So in Outlook, it's called Mail Merge. And it takes a little bit, it sends out an email one at a time. And through this other very, very inexpensive service, it just, boom, sends it everywhere. And then you wait and see. And then you have stats. You can see which ones are opening it up and which people are clicking around. So they like you, but they clicked on your bio. That's now a warm lead. That's who you call. And to be completely honest, for those last two examples I brought up, I did not pick up the phone once. I mean, unless they called me. Why? Because I'm busy and I have a not just a life, but I have my whole business and there's too much happening. I said, I'm going to send it out and whatever happens, happens. And that's what happened. So, but that's who you could follow up with. In fact, when I set the Guinness record, then I did follow up. And obviously people said, oh, yeah, I was just looking at that. So they're warm now. Those are the people who seem to like it. And the ones who click it, which is an even smaller percentage, it goes, you have the 2,000 people, maybe 10% open it up, and then of 10%, maybe 2% have been clicking all around on all of your stuff. And then you reach out to them.
All right, so I'm gonna you've been talking now just forever. I mean, I had a couple of drinks of water. Hold on a second, I'm just gonna.
He had a couple of drinks. I thought he was going to say a vodka.
I had to breathe deep. What do you want me to do when you drink that coffee? I mean, I'm just curious.
I don't know. I only came up with this 10 minutes ago, so.
Buymystuff.com, like that you need a .com on the bottom of there. This is really simple as far as you need a list of who to send a message to, and you said you've got it broken down into print, radio, TV, maybe some other distinctions, I'm not sure. Once you have that list, you need to send an email to them, and you can do it where if you set it up properly using technology, it will customize the message to hi first name with all the beautiful content that's in there. You talked about how to write that email as far as you started with just the subject headline. But really it's two things. It's list and send an email. And that's all in these two examples you just gave you did. One, to get invited to a certain number of print. You said about 50 print.
Yeah, it ended up in 50 outlets.
50 outlets, and then the other one, the New York Times responded back to you, and you didn't have to do anything. So this was pretty cool. I like that as far as simplicity, because everybody's busy, you know.
I did have to reply to her call. She said, I think she left a voicemail. We would like to interview you. And I had to call back and say, yes, please.
That's a third step, and I'm not sure I can handle that. All right, so you had to say yes. So in that case, you got a list, sent an email. Yes, I agree to be interviewed.
Yes.
Now, what you
we got to push you out there. We'll have to get you trying some of the techniques.
I can handle 1 and 2 maybe. I'm not sure about that third one on the yes part, but yes, call Jess. That's your thing. .com. You mentioned the follow-up. So if someone wanted to be more strategic about this and not be perfectly lazy, but is to go ahead and have some follow-up. Pay attention to the tracking of how many people opened it, how many people clicked on it. How much, and to go ahead and follow up with those people who said, yeah, I remember your email because they read it. And then you're not cold calling, you're saying, hey, I sent you an email. I noticed you opened it. Can I talk, or whatever. Now, there's a little...
Don't say I noticed you opened it. That's too big brother.
Too freaky?
Yeah, someone said that to me when I worked in television. They said, I noticed you opened it, and I'm upset you didn't reply to me.
What the?
I know.
How did that work?
Well, I just said, I hate to tell you, but maybe I didn't think it worked for our show, which was really being nice, right? but you're on the right track. Outside of that one part, you're on the right track. Yes, you can follow up, but you don't have. I mean, it's better to follow up if you want it badly, then you follow up. If not, the simple steps are: write an email. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can always try again. You don't just get one shot, like Eminem says. Sorry, Eminem. He's not over there. I don't know why I looked over there.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Eminem.
Hey.
Hand me that stapler.
Yeah, well, that can't. Well, and he was wrong anyway. Yeah.
You get lots of
he's on stapler duty.
I have a story that I'm not going to tell right now, but the short version is just I had a guy who called me every month for 9 months. It was like giving birth to him being on the show. And on the 9th month, loved the story. It was perfect for our show. I said, ooh, that's really good. Hold on. I turned to my executive producer and said, yep, tomorrow, 7:15. This was on a national morning show. Can you be here at 7:15? So he would just send something out each month and then just hit it. And then just one other example that I was telling you on one of the breaks is I've had it where I send some things out periodically and they may not like everything that I send out, but then they reply and they say, they don't actually say this part out loud. They don't say, yeah, we didn't care about that story. Can you talk about this other story? We don't care about that, but there's some political news today. Well, what would you say as the media consultant? What would you say about that? I'd say this. Okay, come in. We'll talk to you. So that has worked out for me. I was able to get the Daily Show where they reached out. Yeah, we just had your contacts, and we were looking through who might fit the bill. So I was on the Daily Show, and our local Fox affiliate just did the same thing. They said, I just know we got some emails from you, but this is our story that we care about.
So I think I got it here. Most people are the biggest challenge that we all have is obscurity. Nobody knows who we are, what we do, and our name and our business and whatever. And then when I say that, and if I ever do that and I talk to a client and I say nobody knows who you are and your obscurity, they can get a little offended and be like, what do you mean? I have all these people who know me and follow me, whatever. Like, okay, there's a billion some people on the planet. Most of them don't know your name. Like if you're not Oprah or Obama or Eminem, because everybody knows Eminem.
Over there, yeah.
Dude, good to have you there, man. So you need a name. You need to tell people. So what you just told me is, well, hey, Trevor, these media outlets, print, radio, TV, they need news. You didn't say this, but I'm reading between the lines. They actually have this thing called email. And you can, if you had their email, you could send them a message and say, hey, I have this new book. And you could have the subject line of that email say something cool like, I don't know, whatever a subject line from a newspaper would be, so we could look at magazines and newspapers and copy some of the headlines, or look at media news and find out what headlines are hot and that we think are hot. And if we do, and we send out one email to 2,000 people with the click of a button using technology. My doorbell's ringing. It must be Eminem coming. Bodyguards here to kick your.
He found us.
You can see he was watching the Periscope. All right.
He's holding your Amazon.com delivery of the day.
Yes. But so if you send them an email, then you get a chance to go ahead and say, oh, this guy, I'm interested or not interested, or this gal, I'm interested or not interested. And it doesn't matter whether they're interested or not. They're just saying, is it good for their show? And if you send one message and then two and then three and then four and then 5 or 9 months of it where you had one guy calling you up apparently like, hey, he didn't just send the email, he followed up to say, are you interested in this topic? And apparently when you were running the media, you're like, no, until the 9th time when you said yes. So you gotta tell them, and all it is the list and the email. And right now we're in obscurity, and if we just reached out and gave an imperfect message that most of the people are not going to open, most of the people won't like, you only need a few, and it's a good day.
That's it, and it's a good day. And yeah, you don't have to say, oh, well, nobody liked it.
Well, let's talk about that quickly, the tools, because if people go to greatnessquest.com/media toolkit, that's where we're going to give it away. greatnessquest.com/media toolkit. What are you going to give all of our viewers here to support them in getting some of this attention?
So in getting the attention, well, the media training toolkit helps them to do a better job when they're doing the interviews. I have something different, which we're going to put at some other URL, maybe a star, be a star or whatever.
Okay. Tell me what it is.
Which is my kit. And so I sat down. I said, I'm going to get everything out of my brain. I originally recorded it as 2 DVDs, and then that explain everything. And then I said I'll include my media list, which at the time were 3,000 media contacts. And as I've updated it each year, I realized I shouldn't get rid of some of the old contacts because some people reply and say, I now have that person's job. So I've left in those contacts, and so what I've done is just piled new ones on top. So people are actually getting about 7,000 contacts. So I have 7,000 media contacts, national, around the U.S., and then I also have the videos. It's all online now, and I actually have a whole bunch of, I think it's 12 or 14 audio interviews that I've done with people like producer of Good Morning America, cable news producer, master publicists, someone on how to get it on a reality show, someone who explains how you can convert interviews into actual product sales and dollars. And I have all these other extra things.
What we're going to do is we have a free media toolkit, that will help people on what to say. We're going to give that away, right?
Yes, that's media training. Yes, exactly.
That's that media training.
That's just how do you do a better job, look, sound, and feel better in interviews.
Got it. So that will be the greatnessquest.com/media toolkit. That's where we'll give that gift away. And then we're going to, anybody who gets that, we can go ahead and we'll send you another link to go ahead and get this offer for this. I'll think about the domain name right here, about what we're going to come up with, so we can make sure they have that gift. Or this option.
I should tell them how much it is.
You should tell them. So what they're going to get, though, is that this program that you've created has 7,000 media contacts. No, I can't read by myself.
I don't want to be that blatant.
So it's got 7,000 media contacts. This is the list, then.
This is the list, including the list that I use to set the Guinness record. So it's a record-setting list that I put together through the years and just keep adding to it. And some of my publicist friends said, "Here, I'll give you some stuff." And other
so when I said to you, brother, how do I get this done? And we had a conversation offline when we weren't recording, where I said, what could be a good hook and a headline, and what do I write in the body copy of my email? And you just gave me some advice, and I think you gave me access to, you sent me one of the templates. You sent me a template of, like, this is what an email could look like. Yes. And then I did not follow up with it. And one of the challenges was, I'm like, well, who am I going to send this to? This is the list that I would send it to.
So that's right. So this is the list. You have your email practically done, and you need to just sit with it for 5 minutes and say, I'm going to send it out. And if nothing happens, I'm totally fine with that. So this way there's no rejection.
Well, I mean, why would you feel rejected? Because I'm the one sending it out. You'd be totally fine with it.
No, my feeling is, you just have to be in the game.
Got it.
Business is about planting seeds all around, and some seeds come up, and some seeds may come up later, and some may come up in 2 years or never come up, and you plant seeds wherever.
Come up means grow, nurture, get roots, and you start seeing a tree or something come up. That's what you mean?
Right. Just like the outlets that reached back out to me when I wasn't expecting it, and I do this throughout my entire business. You help somebody, you put out some good things. Maybe I give a speech. I mean, I'm paid to give speeches, but maybe I give a speech in my hometown, which is New York City. That is a totally real background now.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I love the birds flying by. There's that airplane that I can't believe it's just hovering right near your head.
It is.
There.
I know. I'll go like this.
It's more of like a UFO, maybe, because it just doesn't seem to move.
It's over there. Anyway, yes. So these seeds come up, and you have to be like Nike and just do it. I might have said that in our last interview.
Well, now, hold on. I want to talk about this product, though, because the product has the media context. That's the list. Then you mentioned videos. Now, are those videos going to teach me how to do it? And, like, you said there's a series of videos. I don't need more videos. What would these videos give me? Like, why did you mention that in the context of this?
No, so it's me speaking to the camera saying, here are the steps of what you do. Here's how this works.
Got it. So you break all this, because you're getting in the minutia of, okay, these are the different tools you need, the software, the tracking, and the options, and this is what you should write. So it walks people through every step. So
one video, they were DVDs, and it's online now, is how to pitch the media. These are all the steps. Here's what you do. Here's what they want. There's the second one, and I think I keep it about 45 minutes-ish for each of them. And the second one is called Pitches That Work, Pitches That Don't. And what I found when I was a producer was most pitches were awful. So what I did was I saved pitches, emails that came to me when I was a producer, ones that were good but a whole lot that were bad. And I changed the names to protect the innocent. I cloaked them or typed over it and made it so you can't tell. But I put up Microsoft Outlook, because that's what I had when I was on the receiving end. And I say, notice how this is just boring, you can't read it. Notice how this headline doesn't make sense. Notice how I have to scroll here to figure whatever piece out. So when you start seeing all of what works and doesn't work, you start to say, oh, okay. You can just sit there and watch it and say, got it. Now I know I won't make those mistakes. I'll use Jess's template. I'll just get it out.
All right. So basically, and then you mentioned the audio interviews. So the audio interviews are, what is that value? What value would I get there?
The kit, just in the media contacts, a subscription would be $3,000 to $5,000 for one of the big services that it's a whole thing that publicists pay for, and then people pay a publicist between $2,000 and $5,000 usually to have them reaching out every month, and that's a monthly retainer and all that stuff. So just on that, that's the value of the contacts. Me explaining when I do it as a one-day course for a whole group of people, it's usually $1,000 per person. All of those interviews, that's at least another $1,000 worth of value right there, because I have all of those personal contacts of people who are just amazing and get amazing publicity and know things that not everybody else knows. And my mind was, I said, I don't want to overwhelm people. I want to keep this simple. So that's just kind of, you get started with the videos, and then if you listen to the audios, now you have all of this support material where you say, hey, I want to get on one of those morning talk shows. Let's hear what the Good Morning America producer says about this. And then you can listen to that, at the gym or on your commute or wherever it is. So yeah, so those are the three moving pieces: the contacts, the videos that explain it, and all these audio interviews. I think there were 18, 17, there were 16 of those audio interviews that are all around an hour.
But those audio interviews are basically examples of how that interview could go.
No, these are interviews with people who know more stuff than me.
Got it. About how to do more of this. So you interview people, say, hey, how can entrepreneurs do this for themselves and get attention and whatnot? So you found 16 people who know more than Jess. Where are they? Where are those people?
Yes.
They exist.
Wondering, you should just pick a URL and we'll have it, auto redirect.
So you know what? Go to greatnessquest.com/media toolkit. I'm going to put 2 buttons. One for you.
Oh, you put 2 buttons. There you
one
go.
to get the free toolkit, and one to learn about this product. What do you call this product, actually?
I call it the PR Secret Weapons Kit. PR Secret Weapons. So I can't believe I didn't say that one time. So the idea is, I want people to have these secret weapons. It's easier than you think. It's like I said, they want your help. They need your help. They have slots to fill, even on the national level. Just back to those audios for a second.
Yeah.
Say somebody says, you know what? I'm not ready for TV. I'm going to do radio. Great. Listen to the audio interview with a local radio host who says, here's what we want in all different areas on drive time, and here's how it all works. Great. Sit and plant yourself in front of that for an hour. So yeah.
Now let me ask you, because does somebody need to? Because this is taking control. I read an article recently where someone said that PR people are dead to him. He's like the whole PR. He's like, yeah.
And I'm not a PR person, by the way.
Well,
but
he's frustrated because when he's hired PR firms to do something for him, this is Grant Cardone actually was saying this. He's like, he's frustrated. He's frustrated because he's hired PR companies to do work for him, and then he's done a better job promoting himself, in his opinion, than them. They haven't necessarily, the PR companies he's found in the past haven't been his bread and butter. This is an example of me and you taking advantage and taking control of getting my own media attention. So this is not hiring a PR company.
So it's not, and I'm going to build on what you just said, which we're at an amazing time where we can talk directly to people like we are right now. So my thought on marketing is it's all spokes of a wheel. Media is one spoke, having a book is one spoke, having a website is another spoke, and it goes on and on and on. And you can't have all those spokes the second you walk out of the gate. As time goes on, you do your best to keep adding more to it. So there are people who are starting right now and they're saying, gee, doing this one thing would be the most important thing. Some people are some point into their business, or they have the book that just came out and said, I want media. Now it's time to add that spoke. So the thing is, what is the smartest thing for you? It's tough to lay out some of the money for a PR person to know if they're really going to help you or not. And it sounds like Grant was burnt a whole bunch of times, and there are certainly some great ones out there. But if they have a whole bunch of clients, they can't be reaching out to the media every day. And I said, I'm not even doing it every day. They may only reach out a couple of times or a handful of times during the week, and then they should be picking up the phone too and following up, because they got to get you something or you'll be upset and not want to work with them. But this is another important spoke, and you really have to be, the way all of these spokes work together is you really have to have people say, I saw you here, and then I saw this, and then I noticed this, and I found this. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if whatever the entry point is, so while a lot of people talk about a funnel, I always talk about spokes of the wheel, and this would be the hub right here.
Yeah.
You know, that would be the middle. However they came in, they may bounce around the spokes and end up in the hub. So they get on your email list, and then they notice that you have a webinar, and then they get, you know, a $7 item or download or some other type of thing. So as time goes on, you slowly build those pieces out. And this is a helpful piece. I'm going to tell another important way that traditional media interviews can work for you. This is how you can also speak to close, which is you put them, do it the traditional media, you put it on your website. And then people go there and they see you in something that wow, implied endorsement. Mm. Look at Trevor being interviewed by CBS station. We don't know where the heck they are, but it doesn't matter. We're impressed. And then you send it out in your emails. You put it on social media. I still have people who are impressed by that Daily Show interview. I didn't realize this till I just thought about it. That was 6 years ago.
Wow.
And people say, oh yeah, I just saw that. Oh, that was cool. Now, Jon Stewart stepped down, so and actually I was on with a reporter, so I guess that doesn't matter. You wouldn't really know. It's one of the reporters. So anyway, so that's how you do it.
And you talked about speak to close a few times, and I actually have a few clients that have an opportunity to get on stage and speak, and something that I help people with. But I want to collaborate with you to help, because I know you have a whole system and that it's working really, really well. But the speak to close concept is that if you haven't, correct me if I'm wrong, if you have an opportunity to speak to a group and you are getting interviewed by someone, or you have the stage and you're going to give your talk, these are two examples. You're on a radio show, you have a blog that you can go ahead and connect with someone, you're on a podcast, that the speak to close means that you make an offer, that you say, would you like some more? And if you say, I have something for free, I'm just bypassing this, so you're nodding your head, I'm thinking I'm right here, that you're wanting to make sure when someone's communicating, your coaching to them is to say, give people an opportunity to get more from you. One way you can do that is by saying, I have something free to give to you. If you would like it, go here to get it. Act now, you may get this right now, and then you've got your own list. At a minimum, it sounds like in all of these things, speaking to close, that's what you're talking about. It's even better if you have a close where you sell something and they give you money, which would be awesome, right? But
yeah.
But I'm assuming that at a minimum, that's in your criteria of like why one would go, how one would speak to close. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, and this has become a filter for everything that I do. So while we talked about media today, it's really half my business, and helping people with speeches and presentations is really the other half of the business. And I do trainings on both, and I give speeches on both, and all of that. But this speak to close has really emerged. It's something that's really exploded for me, with people really connecting and saying yes, whether it's in a media interview or I'm on the stage or I'm doing a one-on-one, that's what I want. So while there are a lot of public speaking coaches or media training coaches who spend all day long talking about body language, and all of that is important, yet what's most important to you is being able to get more of what you want to drive, whether it's drive more business or at a certain event you decide, maybe I just want emails today, I'm not even here, I'm not trying to sell anything. Decide, where's the return? Sometimes I decide I'm just going to put pure value out there today, and I'm not, which was the idea of the other free item, I'm not even going to ask for your email address. What? That's so, my head's going to explode.
Yeah.
That's fine. So I see that as more seeds and more channels in on those spokes on the wheel. for my business. Not everybody's ready to buy from you at every one moment.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of people right now, I don't know if you can believe this, they did not get the PR Secret Weapons kit yet.
Yet?
They didn't do that.
Everybody you watched didn't go do that yet?
But let me tell you
they're so
why.
enthralled with this back and forth.
Let me tell you why they didn't do it yet.
Hold on, check your operators, see if they've got if they've heard any orders come in.
They're on right now. And the reason is this thing today really wasn't designed for this. There's a lot I put out there that today was just more about some seeds. Hey, we have this thing. Yeah. Although I said half price. So
did you give the price, brother?
Nope. We only said what the value was. But
because it's like worth like $1 million. $1
million.
So what's the cost and I know you're talking.
So it's not $5,000 and it's not $3,000. Oops, sorry to bump you Periscope people. I sell it for $997, and I walked myself into saying that it's 50% for as long as we leave up the link on your website on that page, which I think we should do.
All right.
For 30 days.
So half price is like $897. What's half?
No, it's about $497.
$497.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll make that for a limited time then. So we'll do it for 30 days.
Yes, we'll put that on there, and people will see.
Because that's cool. So we'll do it for 30 days.
So So speak to close means, which is your original question, which is that you want to always have a clear idea of what you want and are you making it happen. And my real idea today was just to meet some of your viewers, add value, try to help them, and then have a soft offer. Although now we just made it really much better because I agreed to do it for half price. But there's more, like you just said, and there's a whole seed planning strategy when you're up in front of people. Yeah. There are also layers that you need to add on for people to be more excited. But you know what? I'm not really. I'll reveal right now. I'm not really this huge, hard sell guy. I gotta sell everybody in the room. They gotta be punching each other in the face to get back and get the credit card out fast enough and that whole deal. I'm just more of a relationship approach of I want the relationship to build, and when it's the right time, right people show up, and more of the stuff that I do is on a higher level with corporate folks or people who have real established businesses, and I'm more exclusive over there. So I guess I probably don't have to.
Well, on the speak to close thing, what I like about it, the way you just said it, is that speak to close starts with having clarity about what's the result you want from the communication.
Yeah.
And you said that even about it seems like your psychology just in general of get a list, send an email to the people with this hook, and then your outcome is what you want is you want to get the attention from people who want that hook and want to showcase it. And if they don't, that's okay. You can follow up with them if you track who may have opened it and say, hi, I'm just following up, see if you got my message, and then hang up the phone if they said no and do it again and do it again, because that's got an outcome. You're planting seeds. So the purpose of that is to plant a seed, but that is communicating to close. The close would be that they say, I'm interested in having you on our show, or we don't want to talk to you about the naked cats, but what do you think about all that stuff in the media about dogs these days? And would you have a commentary on that? Because you know how hot the topic of cats and dogs are now, with raining cats and dogs.
It's huge.
Yeah.
You have everybody. If you take anything away from today, hit the story on cats and dogs. Do that.
All right, brother. So thank you, and buy my stuff. Hold on, just one more drink of coffee before we finish here. I want to just get a good picture of you for the snapshot for this. Hold on, coffee, because it's got the.
Oh, okay.
I don't want a picture of your smiling face. I need to see the eyes. There you go. That's very good. So. Any last words of advice to anybody watching right now? They spent a lot of time with us today to go ahead and get some ideas of how they can become a media star. We've given some insights, and then a toolkit, and then a chance to get your secret weapons kit for PR. And I'm going to actually do it and use it and have some results. And I want to share those results with people. Awesome. So that we can sell more of it. I think everybody needs this, and I like the fact that you've broken it down so that it's not going to take a bunch of your time. I mean, everybody, if they're going to hire you personally, not everybody gets the chance to do that. We've got a couple of mutual clients that we share that you get so much value if you do get to work with Jess. But if that's not right for you, get the Secret Weapons Kit, watch this interview again, go get his toolkit. And if you want to hook up with Jess, I highly recommend it, because the value that I got the couple times you've just consulted me was huge. Because some of my great ideas about cats and dogs, like you retargeted me, like maybe that's not the hottest headline today. So you can really get some value if you get a chance to work with Jess one-on-one. But I haven't used the Secret Weapons Toolkit yet, so I'm going to do that next.
Yes, so we'll have to push you through. And you and I were chatting, and we came up with some interesting hooks for you. Mm-hmm. So I'll speed round to final thoughts, because again, I said you should always lead with value and giving your brain thoughts and intellectual property. I never have to worry if I've given too much, because there's so much more where that came from. Yeah. So I know that I'm safe on that. So here it is. One is give and give and give. Do that in interviews. Plug a free item. So it's not this big plug. It's hey, I have something to give away for free. I call that plugging without plugging. Because you're not, and you can still mention that you have a book. And that's totally fine. But they say with a free item. So there are steps to it too. They go look for the free item. Then if you do have the other thing, here it is. It's right next to the opt-in. Hey, maybe I'll get this. There are a few more emails. Get the free tools on how to look, sound, feel your best. You can do that. Do something this week to push yourself forward media-wise. Even if you just say, you know what, I'm going to figure out what story could I tell? What would be the headline? And you can go to the Google News. This is one of my little secrets for coming up with ideas. news.google.com. And search for your category, and you'll see other headlines, and you say, oh, that's kind of interesting. I would probably say it this way, and now you have an idea for your own headline. So there's a little speed round, and always be intentional about what you want to do and get out of it and go do it big.
All right. Couldn't have said it better. Well...
Now that I think about it.
Now that I think about it. No,
No?
No?
You don't have any lyrics or anything? This doesn't help?
He's not commenting?
No.
Well, he's a little upset.
Treatment.
He's a little upset with the fact that you shut him down. We don't got one shot. It's not just one opportunity.
It's not. If you have a problem with it, right here.
All right, brother. Thank you for being here, and make sure you check Jess out. What's the best website for them to go find you?
Successinmedia.com. That's my main training hub. Success in Media, or just Google me.
Google me. Google.
There you go. Google.
Me.
You see a whole bunch of stuff show up.
All right. Thank you, Jess. Nice to have you on the show. I can't wait to check out your toolkit. You're watching Greatness Quest, and every single week I'm going to bring you somebody extraordinary, so I can't wait to have you back next week, where there's going to be someone who's just as good looking and maybe even better. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'll get somebody with some long hair, because it'll contrast this going on, because it's like salt and pepper. Hey, salt and pepper. It's like a new .com.
Salt and pepper. We should do a podcast video cast called Salt and Pepper.
All right, so we're out on Greatness Quest. We'll see you guys next week. Holy balls. Okay, so did I just say that? Are you allowed to say balls on Periscope?
People are surprised, yes.
Did they just comment about balls? But I mean, everybody likes soccer balls and holy basketballs, holy baseballs.
Over there.
So
we're at this amazing time right now. Here in insert year when you do the recording, so that this is evergreen. Hold on 1 second here, because I muted you somehow. No, we don't want it muted. Oh, darn. Let's pull that out. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Hold on, because I tried to put the...
If you're gonna try to rap, you should do... What about now, Funk Cole Brothers? Check it out now, the Funk Cole Brothers.
I like that version of it. Okay.
And let me go get a glass of water, so I have that as well. Because when we're talking and I drink my my smoothie that my wife put in some natural chocolate, I'll be like,
Ooh,
I'll drink it, and then I'll have
that would be nice.
chocolate in my teeth.
Get your thing, and
I'll be right back.
I'm going to do one thing.
Greatness Quest is also available for download on iTunes and Stitcher. See the link in the description below.